Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Target exclusive Star Wars Black Series action figure of Hondo Ohnaka from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Now, the side of the box has artwork that's a little bit different than the usual Star Wars Black Series artwork, and it features the First Order logo, even though Hondo was not a member of the First Order, but whatever. Here's just a quick look at the little design there on the front of this. This action figure was originally part of a Galaxy's Edge exclusive 4-pack of Black Series figures that was themed to Smuggler's Run. Although the word 4-pack is a bit of a stretch. It was Chewie, Rey, Hondo here, and 2 Porgs. Now the Porgs, Chewie, and Rey were common figures that already existed. The exclusive was Hondo, but I didn't want to pay $69.99 to get 3 figures. Well, 2 figures and 2 Porgs that I already owned for one new exclusive. That's a lot to pay for just one figure, and that always kind of bummed me out. But thankfully, they have partnered with Target to make this a single exclusive figure for $24.99, and I couldn't be happier that they made this a figure that was a little more affordable to get. And I think, man, this figure looks great. I think Hasbro has done a really good job with this figure. The quality of the sculpt, just like holding the texture of this little section here at the top by his shoulders, and then the general texture of his coat, his sleeves, the more like harder designed parts of his lower arms, the contrast of different paints, the sculpt of the fabric along his chest, the belt and holster. I mean, everything going on here is great. It's got the usual Star Wars Black Series Hasbro articulation points of articulation that we're used to, so it won't really go over much, although I do want to point out that this wrist goes side to side, this wrist goes up and down. One of the things I really like about this figure's sculpt is the head. I think they did such an excellent job with Hondo's head. The texture of his face, the general sculpt of like the lines around his lips, his laugh lines, his nose, and then the wash they gave it, so the kind of skin tone reads really well with that wash. Also, I'm very happy that you can totally make out his eyes through his lenses. That's really impressive to me, because I feel like a lot of toy companies could screw that up in the scale, but that's really impressive. His headpiece looks good. I like the sculpt. I like his dreads. And he has one little accessory that I will point out to you guys. He has this blaster. The paint on it is really solid. The paint on this whole figure is really solid. It was not like I could just go and pick out my favorite off a whole rack of them at Star Wars. I pretty much got my pick of one at Target. But yeah, really solid. Just like even the little red lining at the edge of his coat there is really cool. And the way the sculpt of it kind of flows back to allow for like the gun to be kind of exposed from the holster. Let me plug it all the way in there. That looks cool. Hondo is not a character that I consider quote-unquote badass, but this figure looks pretty badass, the way that coat's flowing. Yeah, really solid. I just love the character of Hondo. I always wanted a Hondo in this scale. I would have preferred, in the grand scheme of things, if we had Hondo from like Clone Wars or Rebels, but I'll take what I can get. And you know what? I dig his look in Smuggler's Run. In fact, his animatronic is one of the cooler animatronics I've ever seen. So the fact that we even have this figure, which represents not only Star Wars, but Disneyland and Galaxy's Edge, it's just a cool figure to have. Some real quality work being done here. I dig the hell out of this. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you want, you could follow me on social media, or don't. I don't really care.